And welcome to another episode of GamerHeads. My name is Roger, aka Rogue Leader 76, and with me are my co-host Blue,
aka Writer's View,
and my other co-host Mike,
aka Pezman Mike,
and our other co-host Christian,
aka Fulgan.
Welcome to the show. We have a lot to cover today. We'll go into our hot topic. We'll be talking about the rumors around the Google Council and how this is going to play into the whole council environment, I guess. And is there a new council war coming up? Like, that's interesting. We'll go through our news and your listener feedback as well, as always. But first, before I get into all of that, since it's St. Paddy's Day, happy St. Paddy's Day, everyone.
You have to do it in an Irish accent.
I cannot do an Irish.
Yeah.
I think that was as good as he's gonna get.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, happy St. Paddy's Day. Yeah, see, you can't even do it. Nope, not
Torn
good.
and be Corin. Happy St. Patty's Day to you.
There you go.
Well
there
done.
You go.
Well
done. What is your favorite green character from a video game? Favorite green character?
I'll go first.
Mike.
So my favorite green character is actually one that a lot of people hate, but he gets a lot of undeserved hate.
Okay.
His team would not survive without him because he's in charge of repairs and all the tech stuff.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the smartest guy on the team, and he doesn't get as much love as he deserves. My favorite green character is Slippy Toad from Star
Wait,
Fox.
what? That's not who I thought you were going to pick.
Who do you think I was gonna pick?
Donatello.
Oh yeah, no. Nobody hates Donatello.
That's what I was going to say. Who hates Donatello? But then you said Slippy Toad. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he might not have the best, flying and dogfighting skills, but
Is it a kid or is it a she? I'm not sure. Is Slippy a he or a she?
I think Slippy's a he. He just has a high voice.
Okay. I always imagine Slippy as being like, what is that character from Firefly? The person that actually fixes the ship on Firefly.
Oh, I have no idea.
Can't think of her name, but the person that fixes the ship on Firefly. That's who I imagine Slippy to be. But
yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I'm looking. I have the World of Nintendo Slippy figure, and I'm looking, and I don't see like a bosom or anything like that. So
yeah, I feel like in the era they'd have gone like way over the top to make sure people knew Slippy was a girl.
Yeah,
that's
they
true.
wouldn't have left it ambiguous.
But
yeah,
aren't toads or frogs or whatever it is? Aren't they like asexual? I mean, aren't they?
No.
Are toads frogs? Okay, I thought that was the whole thing with or maybe
with Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
is that where you were going with that?
Yes. I guess they can grow the male or female parts if need be. Is that what
they're
it
bored?
is?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're bored. Oh my god. Slippy, what are you doing again? I'm just bored.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm busy.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Happy St. Paddy's Day, everyone. We're celebrating early.
Yeah.
Good pick, Mike. Blue, what is your pick? Do you have a pick?
Do I have a pick?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Frog from Chrono Trigger.
Oh, nice.
He's
right?
rad.
Right?
Yeah.
See?
I like
That's
that
a
one.
good pick.
It's a very
That's
good
a
pick.
good pick. I started playing Chrono Trigger again recently. I have to get back into it. I like that game a lot.
He's got a good side quest.
Oh, Mike's never played Chrono Trigger.
I gotta go. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
All the hate mail starts coming in.
Yep. We just lost street cred.
Oh no.
No, Mike, you should play. It's fun. It's a good game. It's like probably one of the best RPG games out there.
Oh, really?
Wow.
If you liked Octopath Traveler, you're gonna love Chrono Trigger.
Is
No?
it turn based or is it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
It's neat though. It's different in that the random battles that happen, they're not just like random pop-ups. There's actually enemies on the overworld map, and then they run into you. fantastic. That is an ingenious design decision. Thank you. There's no random encounters on the overworld in Chrono Trigger either. Fantastic. Genius. You can just walk around there and explore to your heart's content. And it's got a great cast of characters. Really great.
It's a good story, too.
Yes.
Let me throw it on the list.
Yep.
I played it for the first time last year, so it's still a little fresh.
All right.
They recently remade that game, right?
They came out with like a Steam version that was bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a port of a mobile version.
Oh,
It was bad.
Oh, that's too bad. But that's a good game. Good pick, Blue. What about you, Christian?
My favorite would be for Metal Gear Solid 3 again. It would be Solid Snake because he wears green in the beginning, and that game is very green, and he's awesome. I love Solid Snake. He's got this great like chiseled veteran personality, teaching Otacon who's boss, and he also gets beaten down, and you get to play as him as he climbs back up to the top and becomes big boss. He's like this typical archetype, but he's got a fun personality to him. He says "what" a lot, which I like.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Solid Snake for me.
Nice. My pick happens to be the brother of the more famous of the Super Mario Brothers. That is Luigi. I love Luigi.
Is that the sound Luigi makes?
Yeah.
No, that's like Waluigi.
That's why Luigi. Luigi's like, oh, Mario, why you have to do this? Yeah. But isn't he really the older brother? I always forget. I feel like the cartoon always calls him little brother. Doesn't he call him little brother?
I think Mario was the older one.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
maybe. Mario's more of a jerk, though. I mean, Luigi never captured and tortured, Donkey Kong or anything like that. He's just been a good guy. He's just a good guy.
Is that canon anymore? I'm thinking it's not.
I don't know, Blue. I'm still calling it canon.
I'm thinking it's not. Well, regardless, it's all water under the bridge because they still get together to play baseball and race go-karts and everything. So
that's true. Well,
all is forgiven.
No, that's Donkey Kong Jr., right? Isn't that Junior?
No, Junior's last appearance was in Kart.
Well,
the
no,
original Kart.
I think he's got something because I think when they first came out with Donkey Kong Country, it was the original Donkey Kong that aged up and became Cranky Kong.
Yes.
And then it's
That's
Donkey
right.
Kong Jr. That is the Donkey Kong that we all know.
Yes.
Good
job.
Everybody's quiet because our minds are collectively just like trying to process this right now.
I know.
I don't know if they kept that, but I think that's how it was when Donkey Kong Country was originally released.
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah. And it's a weird, that's weird, but I love the lore of Donkey Kong, and I love Luigi. I don't know why, but I do.
You know what? You're not alone. I prefer Luigi over Mario. I think Luigi's a lot more adventurous than Mario. You don't see Mario going around, searching for the paranormal and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
he can't handle
wasn't Luigi trying to rescue Mario?
Yes.
So, I'm pretty sure Luigi wouldn't have been doing it either, except under duress.
I think Luigi got called to that mansion because it was like willed to him, like an old episode of Scooby-Doo or something. He got a letter, I think.
Oh.
At the beginning of Luigi's, I haven't played it in so long, but at the beginning, I think he gets a letter.
Yeah, like he won a
from
contest,
Mario.
maybe?
Yeah, or something like that.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mario, I got a free cruise.
Totally not timeshare.
This
And Mario's
Nigerian
like-
prince.
Yeah.
Give me money.
Don't click on that, Luigi. What are you doing?
Oh, no.
Oh man! So, listeners, what are your favorite green characters in the spirit of Saint Patty's Day? See, I can't even do it. I can't do it.
Close. That was good. You were
Yeah,
good.
it was okay.
I'll accept it.
You better say St. Patty or people will freak out.
Oh, that's true.
Uh-oh.
Saint Pat. You do it, Mike.
Do what?
Say Saint Patty's in your Irish accent.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
Patty over Patty?
Happy St. Patty's Day to you.
No,
There
not
you go.
Patty. It has to be with the D's.
Patty.
Patty.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Saint Patty Day to you. So, yeah, listeners, let us know. You can give us feedback. You can send us an email at info@gamerheadspodcast.com. You can send us a tweet at GamerHeadsPC. You can go online to our website at gamerheadspodcast.com. Or you can go on Facebook at facebook.com/GamerHeads podcast. That was very radio voice of me, by the way.
Hey,
all right.
So,
yes.
Before we go to the news,
yes,
I need to explain last week.
Uh-oh.
I need to explain it.
I didn't know if we should go there, Blue. I didn't want to like. This is my fault, actually.
It's
but go ahead.
It's not, but it is kind of funny. So we were gonna record at 8:30, and I set my alarm for 7:30 in the morning since it was Saturday, or no, it was Sunday, and I wanted to make sure I got up in time. So I set my alarm. I get up at 8 o'clock. I'm getting ready to leave, and I finally pick up my phone, and I see, oh, shoot, it's actually 9 because I forgot about daylight savings. So I'm a half hour late, right? And I think, shoot, I missed the show. That's terrible. So I messaged the guys, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I forgot about daylight savings time. That's my bad, right? And so then I like just go on with my morning. Like I take the dogs out, I go get coffee, and then at 10, I get this message from Roger, and he says, "Are you still gonna join us?" And I was like, "No,
Yeah,
no, you guys did not wait for me. Not only the first half hour that I was late, but an additional hour. You guys sat there and waited for me."
Oh yeah.
We had a very existential conversation. It was a lot of bonding.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was like, no, don't tell me. Now I feel really, really bad.
Well, what was really funny about that was that we were sitting there and Mike's like, so I don't think Blue's coming. I'm like, no, Blue's coming. I know she's coming. She's going to make it. She's going to make it. And he's like, and we sat there and waited. He's like, no, I don't think, I bet you she's probably thinking that we're just moving on without her. No, we wouldn't do that without her. And that's what I messaged you.
I would. That's how it totally. In that first half hour, I'd have given me like 20 minutes and been like, let's go. I so figured that I actually missed the show. Not that you guys were sitting there waiting for me.
Well, that's okay. We had good conversations though. Though after a while, we did all like break out our switches and start just playing.
Because at least the time wasn't completely wasted.
Yeah, I mean Christian beat like 3 games in that time. It was crazy.
I wish.
So yes,
so, yeah,
that was my fault too. I mean,
that's why I missed the show last week.
No, it's not. I mean, I should have realized like. We should have a rule that if you're not here 15 minutes, like we're moving on.
That's what I said. I was like, no, leave me behind. Go.
Like
we're like the Marines.
Class rule.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, mine was like 5 minutes. Oh, professor's not here. I'm out of here. And as I was getting up, the professor walks in. I'm like, damn it. No, it was. I mean, yeah, it was fine. It was. I mean, it was fine. So. But yeah, we missed you for sure. I mean,
well, you guys did a good show.
Oh, well, thank you. I know. I was like, oh, we're having our favorite female characters, and when we get to our listener feedback, Blue, you can give us your favorite female characters. So, but no, it was. We certainly missed you, but we had a good chat after all. So, yep. All right, let's move on to the news. So I have a couple items here, and actually, Blue, do you want to take the first one? Did you send me this one? I think you did.
I did.
Oh, yeah, okay. Want to take the first one?
Sure. This is from Polygon. Halo fans are sending way too much pizza to 343 Industries after they announced that the Master Chief Collection is coming to PC. So 343 community director Brian Jarrett had to actually tweet out, "The Halo community is awesome. We're excited too, but please don't send any more pizzas to 343 Industries. The building receptionist isn't here, so it's getting logistically challenging, and we really don't want to see food go to waste."
He actually, yeah. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
No, I just want to ask, is there really such a thing as too much pizza?
Oh, you should have seen all the tweets that they were sending. I mean, they were just getting pizza after pizza after pizza, and it was like interesting pizza. One was pineapple and jalapeno, and another was like, I don't know, they just had like, and he just kept tweeting. He's like, okay, enough. No, seriously, guys, enough.
I feel like jalapeno could be the only thing that could save pineapple on a pizza.
Oh.
I've had not pizza, but I've had a burger with peanut butter and jalapeno.
Oh, disgusting.
Hey,
gross.
that's in your neck of the woods, man. I was out in your neck of the woods.
No.
It was a place called like the Chicago Brewery Company in Wisconsin.
See, there's a problem right there. Some guy from Chicago who thinks you can open up a restaurant in Wisconsin to sell burgers with peanut butter and jalapenos on it.
I never said the owner was from Chicago. I'm just saying that's the name of the place. They were probably just trying to draw people in because Chicago is the greatest.
Oh, they're probably
I couldn't even keep a straight face myself saying that.
They're probably trying to troll us with like, "Oh, you like cheddar? Well, here's some peanut butter and jalapeno." Huh?
To
you
be
like
completely
that?
honest with you, it wasn't terrible.
Really? You had it? Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I would never have ordered it. What city were you in? There's a place called Milwaukee, maybe?
No. It was north. It was further north.
Further
Appleton.
north.
I was in Appleton.
Appleton?
Yeah.
Appleton's like an hour from me.
Well, it's 3 hours closer to you from where I normally am. Be optimistic, buddy.
I'm gonna Google this place and order. No, I'm not gonna order the burger, but I am.
You
gonna
can
Google
order
the place.
it with the peanut butter on the side.
Yeah.
I think it was called like Chicago Beer Company or something like that. I don't know. So I'll look it up. I'll find it for you.
All right.
And then I'll Uber you one.
I don't think there's Ubers that come out to my house. Charter doesn't even come out to my house, Mike. I don't think Uber.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So
awesome
yeah,
that
is
Halo's
awesome.
coming to PC.
Yeah,
That's
that
freaking
is.
that's right.
awesome.
That's what
That's the real point of the news.
Yeah.
I'm excited because my first real experience with Xbox Live was Halo 2, or actually any game online was Halo 2, and I played that just night and day. And actually, when this was announced, my one of my old friends that I played Halo 2 all the time with, he's living in LA right now. He texted me, he's like, "Did you hear it's coming to PC? We need to get the band back together." So I gotta fire up my old original Xbox to see who on my friends list is still active and reach out and say, "Hey, we're getting it back together. Let's get some capture the flag going."
Yeah. What makes it more crazy is that it's a Steam exclusive of all things. After Epic is just like swallowing all the exclusives left and right, Steam is like kind of in hot water over, being so open about allowing games on their platform in tumultuous times. But they got Halo, and I mean that's insane. That's insane. It's going to be Halo 1, 2, 3, 3 ODST, 4, and Reach eventually, one at a time. But that's insane.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
That is very exciting.
Master Chief is my second favorite green character now.
Good job.
Yes.
Nice. The next item that I have here is from Engadget. So I found this, and I found it interesting. EA reportedly paid Ninja $1 million to stream Apex Legends for 1 day. I'm going to say that again. For 1 day on February 5th.
He better report that on his taxes.
Yeah, I know. That's more money that he was making on his other stream. I think he was making like $500,000 a month on his normal streams.
Seriously?
Yeah. I think that's what they were reporting, that he was making $500,000 a month. But $1 million for 1 day? Listen, EA. Come closer to the mic. Or come closer to the speaker. I'll tell you what. You can pay me $50 and I'll stream a game for you.
See, I was going to say I would do it for half. But
well, yeah.
But apparently, Roger was going to undercut me.
Do not go on Price is Right.
$50. I'll take 50, Bob. Isn't that insane? Isn't that an insane amount of money?
They could have definitely gotten away with more than just 1 day. At least go for a weekend, man.
I know. Well, because their thought was that if he could stream it for the day that it launches, or I think it launched on February 5th, somewhere around there, that it was going to generate enough organic hits that people will start picking it up.
$1 million, though?
I know.
That's a lot of microtransactions.
Yeah, it is. But isn't that crazy? I mean, because we talked about this when it first came out, and we were like, wow, like they did no marketing whatsoever. Well, they did.
They did.
That
is just that's a marketing budget.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different time, people. It's a weird time.
Yeah. Have any of you played Apex yet? I haven't even downloaded it. Is it worth the download? Is it?
It's okay.
It's free, man. If you've
free.
got 3 people to play with, it's a blast.
Yeah.
As far as free battle royales go, I mean, if you like first-person shooters, it's the best one out there.
Oh.
And I will say, I mean, I'm no ninja, but I've taken second twice now. Twice. Not because of me, though.
I think it's better if you have friends to play with as opposed to just showing up to
Just randoms.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Because when I first started playing it, so I've been playing it with, or I had played it with Phil and Phil the Chef, or Phil Hoff is his real name, and Kyle from the Real Dudes podcast. And that's fun when I play with those folks, but when I played with just random people, like, I don't even talk because I don't know what to say, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you except the fact that I suck. And they know, I mean, Phil and Kyle know that I suck at this game, so like they're okay with it. But, anybody else I played with, they're like, what the hell? What are you doing? I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah. It has mandatory 3-man squads, which is interesting.
Yes.
Like, you can't play solo. You have to play with 3-man squads. But because of that, they have a really great ping system in there that's very intuitive. It works well on controller, and there's a lot of different options for the ping so that you can communicate without having a mic, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Gotcha.
So they did a pretty good job with it. I mean, yeah, I'd say for a free game, it's really worth it, guys.
Finger quotes.
Yep. But I mean, yeah, good for Ninja. Like,
yeah,
that's some good money. Now, you know what? Now he'll be able to. Now he can afford to bribe his kid's way into college.
That's true. That is true.
Oh boy.
Sorry,
It's
kid.
relevant.
You're not smart enough to make it into college, but don't worry, we got money. So, anyway, moving on. Mike, do you want to take the next news item here?
Sure thing. And this comes to us from the University of Oxford, so it is just laden with intelligence.
Yes.
Violent
People
video
got bribed to go there, by the way, too.
Yeah, that's true. Violent video games are found not to be associated with adolescent aggression. So what was quoted was the idea that violent video games drive real-world aggression is a popular one, but it hasn't tested very well over time. And this is according to lead research professor Andrew Przybylski. This is the director of research at the Oxford Internet Institute. They went on to say, despite interest in the topic by parents and policymakers, the research has not demonstrated that there is cause to concern. Our findings suggest that researcher biases might have influenced previous studies on the topic. Big surprise there.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
And
have distorted our understanding of the effects of video games. And this was according to co-author Dr. Netta Weinstein from the Cardiff University. Part of the problem in technology research is that there are many ways to analyze the same data, which will produce different results. A cherry-picked result can add undue weight to the moral panic surrounding video games. The registered study approach is a safeguard against this, again, according to Przybylski. So part of the study was pre-registration, where the researchers publicly registered their hypothesis, methods, and analysis technique prior to beginning the research.
Yeah.
I
thought that's how all science worked. I didn't know that that's
no, sweetie. That's cute.
I mean, isn't the whole idea is that you have a hypothesis, you discuss what methods and techniques you're going to be using before this?
No. See, you have a donor who wants a result and pays for a result, and you work backwards from there.
I guess that 6th grade science class that I took is meaningless. I mean, throw that out the window. Kids, stay in school. Wait, don't stay in school.
Yeah.
Because it's meaningless. But if you're going to go to school, have your parents bribe. No, don't have your parents bribe. Never mind. Just keep going.
So here's what's funny is that those of us who are avid gamers, this comes as no surprise. But the other thing is this, and I appreciate you throwing this into the notes because this is not getting as much attention as every other article that comes out saying that video games cause aggression.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I think there was some politician, and I don't remember exactly, but I believe it was some politician in Britain that was coming out on a new warpath earlier this week and was saying about, all the problems violent video games were causing.
Yes.
And it's just such a convenient scapegoat, especially if you don't play video games and don't care for them, that you can blame video games and not actually have to address any murky, gray, sticky, real-world problems.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, I mean, this comes on the heels of unfortunately another tragic event that happened in New Zealand over the last weekend too.
Yes.
And so, I mean, one thing that I will say, like, things where the argument is violence, video games are too violent, and that's what's causing us issues. I mean, that's masking the issues that we really have to deal with. And there's a lot of hate in the world. And I feel like the moment that we start ignoring the actual problems that we're facing and trying to create a scapegoat, the scapegoat is causing more problems. So let's have real conversations, people. Let's have real conversations about what's actually happening in the world. There's a lot of hate, and let's stop it. It's dumb. That's all. I mean, that's my soapbox right there.
That's very poignant.
So, yeah. So, I mean, in other news, water is wet as well. So, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, it's just, it's shocking that, I mean, it's not shocking that obviously video games or other media does not cause violence like other things cause violence. But they did say, though, they did say in the article, they did go on and say that, yes, while the video games don't cause violence, I mean, seeing aggressive images does cause some aggression, I guess, when people are playing those games. But I wouldn't say, like, it didn't sound like they were saying that the violence is, in the world, it does not drive real world violence.
Well, probably what we need is just like something in 1984 where we have our 2-minute hate every day.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
No, I said yep.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Is this from the book 1984? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I read it a long time ago. I don't remember.
So, well, basically in the book, like, you have people are so repressed in the things that they're allowed to do and say and feel, and so for like 2 minutes every day, they say, okay, now we're going to hate. And so, like, they'd put up like the rival country, and then everybody would just direct all their fury and anger and energy at this image of the rival country. And then once it's, purged from yourself, then you go on.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, you can say that video games cause violence if you want to try to, or you can say that aggressive images causes aggression. But I think that those kind of feelings are just inherent in being human, and it's what we do with them that matters.
Yeah. And I think I agree. And I think that the talking through our issues, and I think that's a problem that we have with our society today, is we don't talk enough, right? It's enough. There's way too much shouting, way too much of like pointing fingers, and not sitting down at the table and looking at what we have in common with each other. And it's ridiculous. But
this is a very deep episode.
We're not even at our hot topic yet.
Yeah, we're not. You're not. Do you guys have anything else from the news?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
No. After you.
No, I think yours might be the same, Mike. Go nuts.
All right. You want to go nuts? Let's go nuts.
Oh boy, we just talked about not being violent. Come on.
Shut up! You shut up! I am very excited about this. This week, we got an announcement. Unfortunately, nothing was shown, but just the announcement was enough to make me very, very giddy. Turtle Rock announced that they are making a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead called Back 4 Blood. It is a co-op online zombie shooter. Obviously, it doesn't take place in the same universe as Left 4 Dead, because obviously Warner Brothers is publishing it, if I'm not mistaken. But it's looks to be more the same. And for people like me who have been clamoring for Left 4 Dead 3, very exciting news.
Yeah,
definitely.
I was never a Left 4 Dead person, I guess. I never played a game. Is it good? Is it a good series?
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Is it just a zombie shooter, or what is it? Is it like Resident Evil?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's very cut and dry. You're a person, you gang up with 3 friends, you mow through zombies in order to get to your destination.
Oh, that does sound fun. Blue, have you played the game?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sad because I kind of missed the boat for Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. I didn't get either of them until like 7-8 years after they came out initially. And so I would just kind of like play them on an occasional like social basis. So I'd like get a friend with me and then we'd download a bunch of mods and then just screw around with giant Shrek zombies chasing us in Middle Earth and trying to defend Helm's Deep.
Nice.
But yeah, I think with this one, I could hopefully get in on the ground floor and actually team up with some people and have some fun.
Yeah, I'm going to be all over this. Now, what was the Evolve? I know that was kind of a flop.
Yeah.
So I just hope that they learn their lessons from this, and this one will be much, much better.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. Was that the same as your news?
Yes, it was, Mike.
Oh, all right.
You
Great
nailed
minds,
it.
man. Great minds.
I do have one more thing that I didn't add. I was going to add, but I'll talk about it quickly here. Did you hear that Steam is actually going to implement tools to try to stop review bombing?
Oh.
So they're going to
How?
have, so it's going to be like all algorithm based, but it's going to look and see if like the review is going to be has certain words or has certain things that really distracts from the actual game and like more of like the information about the game and just bombing it either good or bad. Here's the thing, it only is going to apply to user reviews, so it's not going to apply to like critic reviews. And if that game, if they deem that it is a review bomb, not only does that user review get wiped out, all user reviews for that game get wiped out.
Oh, your
Yeah.
algorithm better be
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was reading somewhere, I think it was the Captain Marvel movie that was it Rotten Tomatoes or some site had set up an algorithm to wipe review bombers, but
Oh, really?
the net had been way too wide,
Mhm.
and so it took down all kinds of reviews of it.
Oh, that's too bad.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Steam already has a system in place to kind of diminish the effect of review bombing, where it shows you the user reviews overall, and then it shows you the recent user reviews from like X amount of time back forward, so that you can kind of understand how people have been looking at the game in its current state and historically how they've looked at the game over time.
Mm.
I wonder
Does-
if it wouldn't just be more effective if you could mark reviews as a user, if you could mark them as a review bomb,
Well, that's
Yeah,
true.
that might work.
Yeah.
rate them or vote them
Or would
or
you
something.
get review bombs where people are like, "Hey, this person reviewed it positively. Report them."
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Counter bombing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The reviews for Steam, do you have to own a copy of the game in order to leave a review for it? Does anyone know that? Because
That's
I
a
would
good
just think like
question.
that should be like don't you think that would be a really good setup? Like, okay, if you're gonna bomb this, if you're gonna review bomb this, you need to own a copy of it. Like if you need to leave any kind of review, you need to own a copy.
Yeah. That's a good point because, like, well, that's the problem with Metacritic, right? Because you don't have to own the game.
Yeah.
The users don't. They can just write whatever they want onto the user reviews. Yeah, I mean, that could be something that could be totally implemented for Steam. I don't know if you have to own the game or not to write a review. But it would be something that I think that's a good solution, Mike. That you
I think
actually
you
have
do
to own
have
it.
to own it
Do you?
to
Okay.
write a review currently.
Okay. Yeah, it would be cool if they could do something like that even for Metacritic, like somehow prove that you own the game. I don't know how they could do that, but
Selfie.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be awesome. I think it looks like a way around the Steam review process. I think you need to at least have played the game on your account. And so if there's like a free weekend or something, you could just open the game for a second and then review it. So that's a potential doorway for review bombing.
I see.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's the other thing I had. Anybody else have anything else?
I
that
do.
they... Oh yeah. Oh
Goodness.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Hollow Knight got announced. Not only a physical copy, but a really kick-ass special collector's edition also
Yeah.
to be coming out in May.
How many did you order?
Just the one, but I got all the bells and whistles added to it.
Oh, nice.
I'm so very excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you get that plushie ever? Did you ever get that plushie?
No, I never did.
Oh. I
Someday,
haven't seen it.
maybe.
I haven't seen it at Best Buy either anymore, so that's too bad.
Mm.
Well, that's cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
I saw you post that too, so
Yeah,
that's
and
exciting.
you can get it for Switch or Xbox or PlayStation or whatever platform you want to, which is really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I have to go back and play that game. You know, one thing that there's this guy that does 3D art, Blue.
Mhm.
I'll have to send you his link. It's kind of expensive, but he does a lot of video game 3D art. But one thing that he does is, and this is in the UK, so I think this is why it might be expensive to ship here. I'm not sure. I didn't really look into it too much, but he does Hollow Knight 3D art.
Oh, cool.
It's all framed, so I'll send you the link. It looks really cool. So
so I can sit there and go, oh,
yeah, exactly.
so broke.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did this morning. I was like, oh, look at this so cool stuff I can't afford.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Anything else from anyone?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Okay, so then let's go on to our listener feedback. So last week we gave our top 5 favorite female characters. And Blue, before we go into listener feedback, I do want to know what your top 5 female characters are.
Let's see if I remember who I had. I had Samus. I had Cortana, Lara Croft, I think Chun-Li, and then I couldn't choose between the Final Fantasy X ladies.
Oh,
So as a
I
group,
see.
oh nice.
The Gullwings?
the Gullwings.
Yeah, they're the. Do you know who the Gullwings are, Blue?
No.
They're the 3 girls in Final Fantasy X-2. So it's Yuna and Riku and emo one that I forget her name.
I don't speak of that game.
Okay.
Nice, good. It seems like Laura, and we'll go through the listener feedback, but Lara Croft and Samus seem to be the ones that kind of show up on a lot of people's list. So,
Mm-hmm.
and Chun-Li, I think Chun-Li was going to make my cut too. I really like Chun-Li, but boy, there's a lot of good characters to choose from. So
And
let's
I
go
also
through.
had Birdo was on my short list.
Oh,
nice.
Birdo,
Sure,
yeah.
yeah.
Totally forgot about Birdo. Oh, yeah, that's a good take. Oh man, I would have told if I remember Birdo, it would have been on my list. I love Birdo. I love Birdo in the cartoons because she had was it in the cartoons or in the game? She had a thing for Yoshi, didn't she? I don't remember.
Had to have been in the cartoons because I don't
it
think
was-
they go that deep in the game.
Yeah.
I think it was in the cartoons.
She's
but-
too busy winning in the games.
Yeah.
Ooh.
yeah. All right, let's go through some of the tweets then that we got listener feedback. So the first one comes from the True Donnie G, and he tweeted, "This is a tough question to answer. There have been so many female characters that may have made an impact in so many ways. Here are my top 5 in no particular order: Princess Peach, Zelda, Chun-Li, Kelly Med. That's the Dana Plato's character in Night Trap." I think that he was the only one that had her on the list. And,
Definitely.
And Laura Croft. So yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of these names are going to appear up on a lot of people's names list, except for Kelly. Like the rest of them show up on a lot of people's lists. So, Mike, do you want to take the next one here?
Sure, and this comes from the Well-Read Mage, and they tweeted Terra, Tifa, Samus, Luca. Am I saying that
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And Yuna.
Yeah, Tifa almost made my list too. I like Tifa a lot.
Terra's awesome.
I don't know Terra.
She's Final Fantasy VI.
Oh, okay, that's why I don't know Terra.
She's rad.
Is she the main protagonist in 6?
Mostly, yeah. Yeah, the game
Okay.
kind of has a fluid protagonist, but for the most part, yeah, she is.
Okay. Christian, you want to take the next one?
Sure, this one's from Ancient Lit Dude, who tweeted Peach, Samus, Rydia. I don't know who Rydia is. And Kat, I believe Kat's Gravity Rush, and Nina from Breath of Fire.
Oh.
Breath
Nice.
of Fire 2, I'm sorry. Who's Rydia? Do you guys know?
I don't know who Rydia is.
Me neither.
No.
We'll have to
Ancient
look it
Lit
up.
Dude, you have
To
to let us know who
Google.
Rydia
Yeah.
Yeah, to
Google.
Google.
Yep.
No.
The next one is Blue. Do you want to take the next one?
I'm looking on Google.
Oh, sorry. You look up on Google. Mike, do you want to take the next one?
Sure. This comes from Helwick. They tweeted, Alex Vance, Samus, and Elizabeth.
Yes.
You star.
Who's Alex Vance?
That was one of my top 5. She is one of the characters in Half-Life 2.
Oh, that's right. All right, so you mentioned that. Sorry. I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, Christian. That's what we talked about last week.
That's okay.
Rydia is from Final Fantasy IV.
4.
Oh,
I see.
She's a black mage.
I got you.
Oh, cool.
I got you. It's
Nice.
one of the ones I haven't played. It's on the backlog.
Nice. Blue, do you want to take the next one from Desert Fury?
Sure. Desert Fury 90 tweeted Jade from Beyond Good and Evil. Bastilla Sean from Knights of the Old Republic. Mission Vow from Knights of the Old Republic. Princess Zelda and Taki from Soul Calibur.
Yeah. Knights of the Old Republic. A lot of Knights of the Old Republic characters there. I started playing that game because that's free now on the Xbox Game Pass. So.
Oh. Well, I went to Walmart and I got the second one for PC for like $15 back in the day.
Nice. Oh,
and I got it with Empire at War. And Empire at War was like the Star Wars RTS. And that was the only one that ran on my computer because it was like a bad office computer. And so I played the crap out of that. But then I finally got a laptop that could play KOTOR 2. And my parents had to take the laptop away because I played that sucker for like 30, 40 hours straight. I finished it once, immediately started a second game. I loved it.
Oh my god. So, Christian, a lot of your stories involve your parents taking away games from you.
Yeah. That was Oblivion. I got Oblivion on PS3. That got my PS3 taken away on several occasions. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. I played that through in one day. That got my laptop taken away from me. It's unfortunate.
The
Now as an
struggle
adult.
is real.
It is.
Yeah, exactly. As an adult, does it feel weird now that you have nobody taking things away from you?
Oh, it's so liberating.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
Call them up and say, hey, guess what I'm doing?
Exactly. Yeah.
I haven't slept in 3 days.
Yeah. I drink all the Mountain Dew I want.
Yeah, that's right. I beat Octopath Traveler, Mom and Dad, so there. The next one comes from @Blonde Shelley, and they tweeted a gift of Lara Croft. Do you guys know who Shelley Blonde is?
Yes, of course.
She is the original voice of Lara Croft. That's so awesome! Yeah. Yeah, so that was so cool that she participated. So thanks for the feedback. So thanks everybody for the feedback. We also got feedback on our iTunes site, which is awesome. So you can go, those are linked in our show notes. You can leave us a review there. The first one, Blue, do you want to read the first one we got here?
Sure. They said, I really enjoy the banter between these three. They have their own little niches that they bring to the table, and that creates a discourse that has a variety of opinions and taste. Feels like sitting down and listening to a comfortable and informed conversation. I subscribed, and you should too. Thank you, Retro Game Brews. That's very kind.
Yeah, that is
Very
really
nice.
nice. And then the other feedback that we got here says, great show. Great niche show with wonderful, knowledgeable host. And that is from ABP Finance.
Thank you.
So thanks everybody for leaving us reviews. We really appreciate that, and we loved hearing your feedback that you have for the show. All right, let's go on then to the games that we're currently playing. I don't have any reviews this week, so let's just talk about the games that we're currently playing. Christian, we'll start with you since we've kind of been alluding to it anyway.
Christian does have a review.
Yeah,
Oh, you do?
I suppose so. My final thoughts. Let
Yeah.
me get my notes out here.
Oh, here we go.
You
On
made
Octopath Traveler.
He's got
I
like
rolled-
3 notebooks full of notes there.
Yep. I rolled credits on it. It's done. I finished it before Sekiro came out. Success.
Oh my god.
Nice
and
work.
it's interesting. I guess in order to roll credits, all you have to do is beat all 4 chapters with your main character that you picked out at the beginning. And
Oh,
I
what?
did it with I got like a party of my 4 favorites, so I just did the story with all 4 of those peeps.
Wait, you don't have to do all the chapters with all the characters?
No. If you do, you unlock a special post-game dungeon, which
Oh.
is a little kind of lackluster. It's not really that impressive. I'm not impressed, but
After he leveled up to level 99, it didn't kill him 50 times.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I had 50 health potions and level 99, and nothing. It was easy.
Yeah. So I think my level was like around 62 after finishing the 4 people story, and my final playtime was somewhere around 40 hours. So I played it quite a bit over the past week and a half, and I love the turn-based combat. It's excellent. The encounters feel like puzzles because you got to figure out their weaknesses and when to use your battle points to do multiple attacks in a turn so that you can keep them from attacking you. And it feels very satisfying to just wail on them and keep them from attacking you because you set everything up just right. I really like the combat system. It's great. And also the visuals, like I mentioned last time, they're awesome. It's a really great blend of old and new in a really cool way. I'm sure you both agree.
But
I love the magic attacks. They're so colorful and the reflections and everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
agree, Roger?
Oh, no, I agree. I'm just waiting for the butt.
Yeah.
Christian always has a butt.
Yeah.
There's some good story stuff. There's like Primrose's story has a really good beginning. There's some inconsistent quality in other beginnings, but there's some good story stuff going on, some good dialogue especially.
Wait, can I just pause there for a second?
Yes.
Because every day at lunch you've been playing Octopath.
Yes.
And as so as we talk through it and our other we have like just to give everybody else kind of a background, we have like a big table of just a bunch of nerds that sit at this table actually at lunch. There's probably like, I don't know, 6 of us or so, right?
I think what
like,
you mean is the cool kids.
I mean, yes, the cool kids table. The cool kids table.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to hear like you and Jordan talk about the game, like, because there's times where you're talking about it, and especially Primrose, I'm not 100% sure you enjoyed even her story really, because like we kind of got into a debate of whether or not Primrose is actually a good character or not, and I'm not sure we're on the same page with Primrose.
Yeah.
Even
her story, I'll get into this.
Okay.
But Primrose's story, especially, her character kind of lacks an arc, and it just kind of happens. I was expecting it to kind of do something, but the story, all 4 chapters were just kind of by the numbers.
Yeah. Well,
which I was not pleased by.
And I can't really speak to because I haven't beaten the game yet, but keep going. I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
Yeah, no. I mean, overall, I was kind of underwhelmed with Octopath Traveler. Unfortunately, I think the game's structure is bad, and a lot of the story has major problems with it. And so, for the structure, you got 8 characters. Each of these characters, each of the 8, has 4 chapters that are identically structured. So you're doing the same thing over and over again 32 times. It's exhausting. You've got the beginning of a chapter, you get recap of what the character just did, so you got to go through the recap, and then you do a dialogue section. We got to get a story going on for whatever this chapter is going to do, and then dungeon boss. It's the same thing 32 times, and it's tiring. It tuckered me out by, after like 20 hours, I started feeling more apprehensive than I did excited to start each new chapter, knowing that it would play through the same series of long dialogue cutscenes and recaps before finally getting back to the action, which was just going through a dungeon and fighting a boss.
Yeah. No, I can see that complaint for sure. Yeah. I mean, even the first chapter, like when you pick up a new character, I was just like, oh, come on, I have to go through their story again, like this person's story, like, and it's because it's always the prelude to them joining the group, and that does get a little tiresome after a while.
So if you could change, what would you so obviously, at least I'm hoping there's going to be an inevitable sequel. So what would you change? What change would you like to see for the next one?
I would like to see a more singular story, or at least a more singular narrative, because you can do any chapter in any order, but each story chapter is then bogging itself down with recap and flashbacks, and you're disincentivized in longer play sessions because you'll be seeing so much of the same thing over and over, and the overall narrative lacks this thrust because you're doing this character a little chunk and you just want to see the next chunk as soon as you're done with that little chunk. But it's like, nope, level requirement is increased. Do another character's story. And it's frustrating because you kind of invest yourself in it and then you get pulled out, sent another character's way to get invested in that one before getting pulled out. And then it just cherry picks you along.
Yeah.
So that's, I really wish it had more of a thrust to it, if that makes any sense, Mike.
Yeah. So basically, for the next one, instead of Octopath Traveler, you want it to just be called Path Traveler.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
See, that's what I was thinking, is because the whole 8 different stories things is kind of its gimmick. And
It
so
is.
if it gives
It
that up, what is
Yeah.
Octopath Traveler?
It is interesting. And I mean, in the very bite-sized stories, I think were effective. It's a thing that they were going for. But I felt the plot is riddled with like lack of character development, repeated cliches, and head-scratching inconsistencies, where there's, for the character development, there's plot twists involving characters that are introduced in the very chapter that the twists take place in, is like the twist revolves around a character that was introduced like 20 minutes ago. So the twists lack any heft or impact because of that. And there's this weird kidnapping motif going on. I don't know what the deal is, but because of the game's repetitive structure, the game feels the need to give you a boss fight for every chapter. So a lot of the time, said boss will just come along, kidnap a character, and then now we got a boss fight with a false sense of urgency and inadequate importance.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest complaint that I've heard other people say about the game too. One, that it does give you a false sense of like urgency, like you said, and then or a structure, the same, I guess, same formula for the urgency, right? Maybe not false sense, but the same urgency, same sense of urgency. And then the other thing is that these characters really don't have a whole lot in common. Like, there's no reason for them to be traveling together. Like, why are they traveling together? And my argument for that is, well, why do any D&D, if you ever played D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, why do any of your characters ever travel together? There's so many parties that I've been in. I'm like, why did this party ever form? Because there's really absolutely no reason that this party formed, except for the fact that each of them have their own goals, their own, story arc in mind, and they're just using each other to kind of fulfill that, so they don't all die. That's the whole reason that they work together. And that's, to me, I think the reason why I liked Octopath, because it reminded me a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, actually.
Yes, in Dungeons and Dragons, that is the case, but your characters all collaborate to solve these problems and all have a role in the plot that's happening. Whereas that was an issue I had with Octopath Traveler, because each character's plot events play out as though none of the other characters are there. So it creates this really weird dissonance in a game that's so focused on the feeling of building up rapport with a party of characters, when the story only cares about the actual party and very small optional dialogue snippets.
Even in the future chapters, not even. I mean, so I can understand the chapter 1 that being the case, but in future chapters too.
Yep.
As well. I mean, I should say. Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. Like there's to tie into the kidnapping motif, you're playing as a character. The character gets trapped. And so another character comes along. I'm like, oh, awesome. This person's going to help me out. They get you out. And you're only this one character. Like, your party is non-existent in this, as far as the story's concerned. You go to a battle, immediately all 4 of you are there. But then as soon as that's over, it's like, it's just one of you in the story. And then as soon as this lady rescued me, I was like, awesome. Maybe I'll get to learn more about this character. And then the chapter's boss sweeped her up, whisked her away, and then we had to rescue her for the boss fight.
That's too bad.
Yeah. And like I said, I was really disappointed in Primrose's plot. She's got a very strong beginning. It sets something up very effectively, but her character itself doesn't really have an arc, and she doesn't really develop as a person. And she's one of her chapters suffers from the whole twist, but the character was introduced in this chapter. So, I mean, I guess, what a twist. That's cool, I guess.
What a twist.
Yeah. I think, yeah. I can see your points.
Yeah.
I feel defeated. I've been lawyered.
I'm still going to go through it. I'm still going to muscle my way through it.
Yes, I think that's the best way to play it, is probably in shorter, more concentrated bursts. Because like I said, the game kind of disincentivizes you to just play it in large swaths, because you're just doing little snippet of story, and then it refreshes you for everything else that's happened for each character. Whereas if a game has a single linear narrative beginning to end, it doesn't feel the need to do that, because it's like progressing like a singular story, and you can remember the events and how they played out. Whereas here it was frustrating. It was frustrating. I'll probably still go back to it to experience that combat, because the combat's good. You can level up, grind some stuff out. I can enjoy that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's just funny because like this whole week when because I was playing other games. That is kind of the fun part about that table is that we all, like, not all of us, but we, a lot of us have Switches, and we'll bring our Switch, and we're all playing different games and stuff like that, and we just kind of talk through it. But, like, one thing that I was, like, kind of disappointed with is the fact that, like, I could tell that you weren't enjoying it as much as I was hoping that you would enjoy it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I just got the sense that, like, boy, could have been playing a better game than this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It was a time investment. I think my JRPG palette is very refined because I've spent my JRPG time playing what a lot of people consider to be like the best of the best. So a lot of Final Fantasies, a lot of Pokemon. So when a JRPG comes along that's more, good, that doesn't resonate with me as much as one that has like a narrative that's above and beyond anything that's in video games.
Yeah. No, I get it. Can't all be fans of the JRPG genre just as the genre. I get it. No, I get it, Mike. I get it, Christian. I get it.
I do like JRPGs though. I mean, I've played a bunch. It's just I guess I played the best ones.
Yeah.
And this one was decent. Octopath Traveler is decent.
Yeah. Have you been playing anything else?
Yes, now with Octopath Traveler done, Sekiro comes out Friday, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get through Devil May Cry 5. So I put a handful of hours into it. I'm about a third of the way through, I think.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm really enjoying it. It's awesome.
I have heard nothing but good things about this.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I have not played through an entire Devil May Cry in the past. I've played a little bit of 2, a little bit of 4. That's it. And so I was kind of going in, not anticipating understanding the story, and I absolutely don't. But the story is very simple. It's clearly just kind of like a pathway to deliver cool action set pieces, and those are awesome. It's like a hack and slashy combat system, but it's not like button mashy. It's more like deliberate, and you're rewarded for cleverly like stringing together your moves in ways that dodge the enemy and also get you a good ranking because you want that good S rank.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying it. It makes me miss Bayonetta because the color palette is very similar. These are very similar games,
Yeah.
Bayonetta and Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
I think the same director was behind both of them. So, I mean, that's kind of what you're getting. The color palette's very similar to Bayonetta 1, which is very muted. It's something that it's kind of grating because it's all muted colors, lots of blacks, lots of reds, and not a lot of other colors going on. It looks great. The game has very good technical qualities to it, great particle effects. But I'm hoping with whatever Devil May Cry 6 ends up being, they go the Bayonetta 2 route and just color explosion. Because I love Bayonetta 2, and playing this makes me miss it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's definitely a game that I need to pick up myself. Because I did like playing Bayonetta, the first one. I played that one. I liked that one a lot. So
Yeah?
this game looks good. Yeah. So cool. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
What about you, Blue? What have you been playing?
The only thing I've been playing this week is Evil Land 2.
Yeah.
That's right. I saw your message.
Yeah.
I know, right? I'm not really making progress, though, because I am so obsessed with the game of cards in,
Yeah.
in the game.
Is it really good?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's simple, but for whatever reason, like, I just can't get enough of it. And you have to go around and challenge NPCs and beat them to get more cards in your deck.
Ooh, this sounds like Triple Triad.
And,
Do you know what Triple Triad is? No, it's the Final Fantasy VIII card game, which is my favorite part of Final Fantasy VIII was running around and card challenging people because the battle system was weird and I didn't like it. But I like that card game. You go around and challenge NPCs to get better cards.
Right. Ooh, they should have put that in Final Fantasy X.
They should.
Instead of friggin' Blitzball.
I agree.
Anyway, yeah. So, like, the characters are like, we gotta collect the 5 keys, and we gotta stop the weapon. And I'm like, I am so busy right now playing cards.
Oh, that's amazing.
That can wait.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a time machine anyway, so it's fine. It's not like, there's a rush.
Yeah.
Does it not make you, like, want, like, a physical version of this card game? Like, with, like, booster packs and stuff like that? Maybe. Kind of.
I don't know. I feel like, because that's part of the fun is putting the cards on the board and having them animate each other.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to having to keep track of it yourself in real life.
Mm-hmm.
But
Do you? So I have Evoland as well, but I haven't played enough of it yet. So I haven't gone into the second game yet. So do you have to like be up to a certain part of the game before you can start playing the card game, or how does that work?
Yeah, I think it's not introduced till a couple hours in.
Okay. And then you can just keep playing it over and over. You don't have to do anything else.
Well, I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to come across new NPCs with new cards, then you kind of got to play through the game so that you can get to the areas that they're in. But like the guard in front of the pyramid, Mike, did you beat him?
The guard in front of the pyramid. No, I did not.
I can't be. I've challenged him like 50 times. And it'll be down to like, I've got 2 hit points and he's got 3. And then he just always manages to beat me in the end. And I'm just like, it's so infuriating.
So you challenge other NPCs to different card games? Is that how this works?
Yeah, if you walk up to somebody, there'll be a pop-up at the bottom of the screen that says challenge, and you can challenge them or not, depending on how you want to. So
that sounds awesome.
That's all I've been doing.
That sounds really fun. So like, do you get cards from them then too?
If you beat them, you get a card from their deck.
Oh, that's so cool! Oh my gosh, this does sound like the most amazing game.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm pretty, like, I need to stop worrying about the cards and, like, actually...
As the world burns around you.
It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. So,
what's the closest analog as far as card-playing games are concerned? You said that there's HP, so is it like Hearthstone or something like that?
I guess it's like... the cards have they have hit points, and then they have, like, strength points.
Okay.
And so there's 2 sides of the board, and each side of the board has 6 squares, so you can play up to 6 cards at a time.
Yeah.
And then if there is no enemy card adjacent to yours on the board, then the card will strike at the NPC and take down their hit points with whatever their striking number is. However, the NPC can play a card opposite of that one, and then they'll fight each other until one wins. And so they can go pretty long time, these games.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I mentioned this game before, but the Cold Cup Revolt. I think you would like that game, Blue, because it's a card game similar to what you're describing, and then it's also Monopoly mixed, kind of. So.
What? Monopoly
really
is the worst game ever.
It is.
No, it is. But this game is really fun because you can put monsters on different spots, and then if you have your deck, you can challenge the monsters on the different lands, and then if you don't, you just pay them, the tow, whatever they have there, but you can also challenge them to try taking over that with your deck of cards. It's really good. I think you would like it a lot if you like. It sounds like you like.
So
those
it's Risk and Monopoly.
It's kind of kind of like, I don't know if you ever played like Magic the Gathering. It kind of reminds me of Magic the Gathering a little bit. So. That's so cool. That sounds like I have to play this game now. I have to play more.
Yeah, I mean, the game, aside from the card games, is fantastic. I love that in Evoland 1, it was just more of like a video game fan, kind of an in-joke. You play through the history and you get all these, funny conventions that come up and things that you wouldn't understand if you hadn't played a bunch of video games. And it's just more of a love letter to gaming and a history lesson at the same time. But then you go to Evoland 2, and they take that concept and actually make a full-fledged game out of it with, the world. You have to save the world, and there's all these characters and real plots and everything. So it's
interesting. Does the second one also have the progression where the game changes art style?
It does, and I think Mike was saying this before when he talked about the game, but you move backwards and forwards in time, and so then depending on where you are in time, that's what your graphics look like.
I got you.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Are you playing anything else?
No, though I need to play Super Smash TV tomorrow or tonight for the Retro Game Brews challenge.
Yep. Have you've never played Super Smash?
I have never played it.
Oh.
All I hear is that it's really difficult. That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
They're like, it's awesome. It's so hard. It's like, oh, great.
Yeah. So originally in the arcade, it's a twin stick shooter. Just to FYI.
I know. I heard that. I was like, oh, give me a break.
Oh yeah. I haven't played. I played the Nintendo. I had NES, the NES Smash TV. I loved Smash TV. Loved Smash TV. Mike, I think you're a huge fan of Smash TV as well, right?
Love Smash TV. Love Smash TV.
Okay, well, you guys are gonna do well this week then.
I don't think. Well, I mean, I'll play it, but I don't think I'm gonna do well. I'm not good at the game. I like it, but I'm not good at it. But I've never played Super Smash TV. Have you, Mike?
Super Smash TV was the version that I owned. I bought it. Yeah,
nice.
I had like $12, and when I went to a Funko Land, so I didn't even know much about it. I'm like, oh, I think I remember playing this game, but it was the price was right, so I picked it up and I played it all the time.
Yeah. I just reviewed Riddled Corpses EX, which reminds me a lot of Smash TV, except you're shooting zombies. But it reminds me a lot of though there's a lot of drops and you pick up the drops. There's a lot of similarities between that and Smash TVs. Smash TVs. Brought to you by Smashing Pumpkins. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited about that too. Mike, what have you been playing?
Of course, continuing on with Tetris 99.
Third win!
My third win, yes. Very excited about that. It was actually pretty funny because the moment that I got my third win, my son, who was playing Fortnite, got a win at exactly the same time.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
He's like, I just won. I'm like, so did I. Did we just become
great.
best friends?
Did we become Battle Royale friends?
Yeah. So that was pretty funny. So I also played some more. I played some Spelunky. Doing the daily challenge. I got 32nd place.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's not as. I don't think the people are playing it as much. So it's probably 32 out of like 35.
What are you playing it on, Mike?
PS4.
PS4. I gotcha.
Yep.
That's still pretty cool, though. I mean, that's cool that people are still playing that game. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's the good thing about it is it's just you could seriously just play it for 20 minutes if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're just looking for a really quick game session. So So I also played some new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe on the Switch. I took advantage of that sale. I know I was telling you about it, Roger, and then you sent me a message. You're like, GameStop is telling me it's not on sale.
Yes.
And I'm like, and I remember how they, what they did to you with Far Cry 5
Yes.
when they pulled those same shenanigans. I'm like, what are you talking? Like, no, Nintendo issued a press release. So I went to my GameStop. I'm like, listen here, there's a GameStop about 600 miles away. So I had them scan and check it out, and sure enough, it was not on sale at mine either.
What the heck? What was that about? It was weird. I think it was only online. It must have been.
I don't know, but I ended up just going to Best Buy website and just buying the digital code and downloading it. So I was able to get the deal that way. So I played that, and I'm only playing as Luigi.
Yay!
That's right.
Good job.
Because that's Mario. No, Luigi's my guy. I'll go with him. And then I also have been playing Super Smash TV to be part of the Retro Gamers Challenge. And it's funny that we were talking about aggression in video games. Because actually, if you want to check out the VOD, I streamed my session with it, and there was a time where I was at the boss of the first level, and I beat him down to his final form, and he killed me. I lost my last life on his final form, and I kind of I may have thrown a bit of a tantrum.
Words were said.
Words were said, and a lot of rassin' and frassin' and all that other fun stuff. But on another playthrough, I did get past him, so that made me happy. But yeah, I played that. I got a pretty reputable score, and then I saw some of the other scores, and I'm like, oh.
I know, yeah. As soon as the scores start coming in for that, you're always like, oh. Wow.
Yeah.
You're like defeated before you even start.
Yeah, exactly.
But I absolutely love Super Smash TV. It has a lot of the tropes of the 80s that I loved. It's like a mixture, they use quotes from RoboCop. They use, it just reminds me of Running Man, which is one of my favorite 80s movies. So I love playing any excuse to play that game.
Yeah.
And then finally, I played the demo for Yoshi's Crafted World.
So good, right?
You know, I saw a lot of people. No, a lot of people on Twitter and stuff were like, kind of like being pretty critical of the game, and so I went into it thinking like, okay, well, what's with the problems? I had no problems with the game. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I loved it. I don't know what people are complaining about, unless it's just they don't want to play a game where you're not in danger of being killed or something.
I guess, yeah. No, it was cool. It was. I really liked the concept of replaying the level from the opposite side, from an opposite viewpoint. So all the like the buildings and the like the bushes and trees and stuff, when the level flips around the other way and you see the backside of it, you're seeing like cereal labels and barcodes and stuff. So it's like, it looks like somebody like actually painted these like cardboard, like they crafted. They actually crafted these
cool.
backdrops from these old boxes and stuff. And I'm like, this is a really cool game. So it went from me just being kind of lukewarm about it to I think I might actually just end up picking this up.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I totally am. The attention to detail in it, like you were just saying, is amazing. And the textures and everything. And you can replay the levels, and then they'll give you additional challenges for when you replay the levels, like finding all the cows. Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So
nice.
Don't listen to the haters.
Don't listen to the haters.
Nice.
That's all I got.
It? Okay. For myself, so I've been playing The Princess Guide. So I'll have a review for that next week. So we'll talk more about that. And then the other game that I've been playing a lot. So it was it's not my wife's birthday yet, but I wish I would have waited one day. If I waited one day, I would have been able to get the Switch with the Mario for like $30. Any of the Mario games I wanted for $30, but I got her a Switch on Saturday, and then Sunday the deal came out. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I was so upset.
That's awful.
Yeah, I know. But I got her a Switch, and I downloaded Stardew Valley, and we've been playing that a lot. So we started a new farm, her own farm, and I've been helping her with that. And like I knew she would love this game because she loves Animal Crossing, and she loved what's the one that's similar to Stardew Valley? Harvest Moon, thank you. She loved Harvest Moon. So she's like, this is a lot like Harvest Moon. I'm like, yup. And so we've been working on her farm. So we've been staying up late every night working on the farm. It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's a lot of fun. So last night I threw the game up on the TV, and I was playing on the TV while she played on the couch next to me, playing on her Switch. It was so fun. It was so cool.
Nice.
So we've been playing that a lot. We haven't played the Civ 6 yet, which she loves Civ 6 as well, but we'll start playing that. But yeah, Stardew Valley has been kind of taking up a lot of our time with that. And have I played anything else? I think those are really the only games I've been Oh, nope, that's not true. I downloaded Space War Arena. So
what's that?
It is it's a strategy game. There's a little bit of a deck building to it as well. So you have a space station, and you are taking on other space stations, and you can play different types of ships and different kind of missiles and stuff like that to try to take out the incoming ships and your enemy space station. It's a lot like chess. It's like chess meets like card building or deck building. It's really cool. It's really good. And by the time this airs, I will have already streamed it, but I do plan on streaming this game on Twitch, on our Twitch channel. So you can go to twitch.tv/GamerHeads podcast, and you can see my streams of this game. So I really like it. It's fun. It's very challenging, and yeah, it's like chess. It's like, that's the best way I can describe it. So But it's on the eShop right now. It's not that expensive. I think it was like $20. I think $15 or $20. I think it was 15 actually. So you can get that pretty cheap. So those are the games I've been playing. All right, then let's do this. Let's take a break. And then when we come back, we'll go into our hot topic. And our hot topic this week is about Google, the Google Council. Will it succeed? We'll talk about that when we come back. So stay tuned. And welcome back to GamerHeads. This week, our hot topic is the Google Council. So they just announced, Google announced that they had a trailer, weird trailer, an interesting trailer. Didn't show much, just showed some things, but they're saying, 319 at GDC, pay attention because gamers will unite, or gamers will congregate, or something like that. I don't remember exactly the actual thing. Something about gangers will unite. Gamers will unite. And so I want to talk about the Google Council. Will it succeed? So I have a couple questions that we can discuss as a group here. So my first question that I have is, so we don't know much about the Google Council right now, but I do have a question. What do you think it would need to have or need to do to win you over as a gamer?
One word: exclusives.
Yeah.
So did you hear that Ubisoft and Sega both agreed that they're going to start working with Google on games for this system and partner with them? So I don't know if there'll be exclusives from those, but I think we'll probably see more Sonic on those systems and probably some Assassin's Creed games probably coming to the Google.
There'll be ports.
Yeah,
They're not.
ports.
Yeah, the brand new console. They're not gonna jump in with the immediate exclusives on this. They want to test that waters. Especially, I can't remember when the last time we had more than 3 major consoles out at the same time. We've had 3, but then there's been attempts at other consoles, and they've all failed.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean, Atari? I'm just kidding.
The Jaguar?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so what about Steam? I mean, could you argue? I mean, I know it's not a console, but would you argue that Steam is kind of in competition with the other 3, the other big 3 right now, or no, not really?
I'd say no, because because at least in the mindsets of a lot of gamers, there's PC gaming and there's console gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think they're different beasts. They don't probably directly compete with each other much.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Mike. Exclusives, because if Google, they've got boogers of bucks. Okay,
Yes.
So if they are willing to shell out the big bucks to make some great quality games, I'd be there. I mean, we get God of War because exclusivity exists. That's amazing. Uncharted exists because of console exclusivity. Thank you. Please give us more. If Google can make games of that caliber, that would make it an easy purchase for me. And that's why I have a Switch in addition to my PS4, because I don't get multi-platforms on my Switch, but I do get the Nintendo games on there. That's how they got me.
Yeah.
When Google opens their bank statement every month, that's what it says at the bottom. Buku bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Blue? What does Google have to do to win you over?
I don't know. It would have to go beyond just exclusives. It would have to give me something that I just cannot say no to. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't care for Google as a company on the whole. Their issues regarding privacy and different business practices, and I prefer to stay as far away from Google products as I can, even though people may rightly point out that I said I was going to Google earlier in the show as a joke, but
you didn't go to Bing.
I didn't go to Bing. I went to Internet Explorer. But it's the same problems that I have with Microsoft and the Xbox. Like, if I want to use a gift card on the Xbox, it still makes me put in my zip code. Why?
Oh,
that's
interesting.
Stupid. That's beyond stupid that I should have to tell them where I live to use a gift card. So privacy issues are a thing for me. And so if Google's going to make a console and think that they're going to vacuum up all of this information from me, because that's what they would do. I mean, they're not just going to let us play games and be happy with just that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to need something that is just so fantastic that I just cannot stay away.
Yeah. I think, I mean, and it's interesting that you said that, because those are some of my future questions revolve around the power of Google, the size of Google and what they can all do. And I think you're right. And one of the things that they're going to focus on, and one thing that Google does really well at, is understanding marketing to you, right? Like, that's one of the biggest strengths is, and everybody says that, right? If you want to succeed in the business, you got to understand how Google's algorithms work. And man, can you imagine you start playing games and then they're like, oh, you like that game? You'll probably like this game. You'll probably like this game. You'll probably like this game.
Mm-hmm. And you'll probably like all these other advertisers that we're going to sell your information to.
Exactly. So
and pretty soon our console has ads on it. And...
Yeah, that would be my concern, is that you'll be playing and then there'll be like an ad. Like, you can play this game for free, but then you have to watch this ad. Which, I mean, they already do that for.
You can pay for it with an ad, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
No, after you, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say what it needs to do to win me over as a gamer. I think that, like, I want to see, I think exclusives. I think you're right about that, but I also want to see that it's not gonna be just mobile games. They're just not mobile ports. Like, I want to see something that's actually games and not just Google Play Store, not just like a box that you can start playing Google Play Store games on your TV. Because if that's the case, I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna play it. That's
that would be really stupid.
Yeah. But if they actually have like an actual console that can actually compete and actually, like, the thing that I want out of this system is not so much that I want to buy the system, but I want them to drive innovation that the other systems will have to, like, think, have to be more creative and be different to actually compete with them. Even if it doesn't succeed, but it can bring something new to the table, that's what I want out of this system. That's what I want. That's what it would win me over. Not so much that I'd probably buy it, maybe, but as a gamer, that's what I want it to do.
Yeah, but it needs to be a console first.
Yes. And not just a Steam box or something.
Right, or not just an all-purpose sort of technology box. Where,
like the Xbox, you can watch TV on it.
Yeah.
See, that's in these are the things that I've been reading a little bit about it, is the fact that, well, there's talks that is going to connect with your Chromecast and be able to, like, any kind of TVs you have attached to your Chromecast, you'll be able to throw your game up on those things. Great, but you're right. I think that's the biggest thing that Google's going to be like, well, we can bring you Netflix and we can bring you Hulu, and we can bring you.
But we have a Roku already, so
yeah, exactly.
Impress me, Google.
Yeah, exactly. So if they're gonna push to the, like, we can connect your home to the internet, okay, well,
and we're gonna manage
that.
Your lights and your heat while you're gone, and
all
this kind of... No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Although I will say, being out of the internet, not having the internet for the last couple days, and now having the internet, not having the internet, man, it's weird. Like, I'll say Alexa, and she's like, I can't help you. I'm like, son of a, come on. Like, oh, she just logged. We have Alexa almost in every room, so she just actually just fired up right now. So, did you need me? I'm like, no, I don't need you. But it is weird not having. But yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, I think that's what one thing Google's going to push is, like, you can be connected. Your home can be connected now, even with your games. It's like, okay, we'll see. What were you gonna say, Mike? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. I was just saying, one of the things that actually kind of concerns me about this, and I'm wondering if this is the route they go down. I sure hope it's not. Is I hope they don't, like, do an evolution of their predictive texting. Like, so, like, when you start the level, you jump and your character automatically just runs to the end of the level for you.
That would be awesome.
Like, interesting.
Look at all the games I would beat, Mike.
Yeah. I don't know.
Actually, because predictive text is based off of your habits as well. So if you always, like, fall on this one particular place, then the predictive text will think that's what you mean to do.
And you'll die all the time. No. So one other question I have here: how do you think it can break into an already established market. Like,
it's got to offer something that the other consoles don't, or it's got to have something new and innovative. Otherwise, it's just going to get lost.
because didn't Apple try to have their own gaming console, and even Amazon, didn't they try their own thing for a while?
I think there were rumors about it. I think the last new console that we got was like the Ouya or something.
Yeah, Ouya.
Hmm.
That's what I was thinking of, the Ouya. And Ouya, what happened to that?
It became a very popular emulator for retros. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
That was about it.
When you think about when Microsoft entered the market with the Xbox, what did they do that made them successful as opposed to all the other ones that tried?
Yeah, I don't...
It was Halo. Halo.
Yes.
That's what it was. It was that killer app. That's what that's how Microsoft broke into it. I think they also had Dead or Alive 3. That was another exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's what it was. It was just like, it was the game. So they need to, if they're going to announce this thing, they better have a lot to back it up.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, they can't just come in with Halo, for example, this time. They can't just say, oh, we've got our own Halo, because nobody will, there'll be no name recognition, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They may as well just say, we've got Anthem, and people will be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I think what would be interesting is we don't really know exactly what this Google thing is, but we know that Google was testing a game streaming application. So there's rumors that this could either be a streaming platform or some sort of hardware or some sort of hybrid of hardware and streaming. And I think if they went the streaming route, if they gave you a box that you just streamed from, that would make them stand on their own 2 feet in the video game market, because it would theoretically be something that you could buy cheap and then play the big AAA titles at fidelity that's better than like a PS4 Pro or Xbox One X even. But at the same time, there's still people who are going to want the native thing here, and they're not going to have, there's large swaths of the United States even that doesn't have the bandwidth to push stuff like that. So I got into the Project Stream beta and screwed around with it a little bit, and I was impressed by where they had the latency at. Like I've never streamed a game before. Even in my own house, I've tried streaming to my PS4, and the latency was way better with Google Stream than it ever was with my PS4. So I was impressed, but I was only able to do it via Wi-Fi when it was very late at night, because it was like, oh, your internet connection isn't strong enough, and I'm right next to the router, so I didn't understand what was going on with that. I plugged it in with a wire and it was fine. But there's large swaths of the United States that don't have the infrastructure to push that. And there's also data caps that people will have to be conscious of.
Yes.
That they wouldn't have to worry about to as much of an extent if they had their own console. Because, I mean, physical discs are still a thing, even though you have to download giant patches, and digital is getting more and more popular. But I still think that the main consoles will still be appealing to most people because of that.
Yeah, except, I mean, look at Xbox. There's rumors that they're going to talk about releasing the diskless system in May. I have to say that very carefully. And so it'll be interesting. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It seems like both Google and Microsoft are kind of going down that same path of, all digital. In Google, in their mind, even like what cloud play, right? Like Xbox, Microsoft too. Like they're trying to push their Google, was it Azure, I think, or something like that. So,
well, I think if anybody can do it, Google can.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing, is that Google, like unlike Microsoft, like nobody says, nobody uses Bing as an adverb like they use for Google, right? Like, or verb. I mean, like Google, they do, like I Googled that. So Google has so much name recognition that I can see where this would be popular, not just amongst, well, I think the thing that they're going to struggle with is getting gamers. I think that they're going to get just the generic public, like the non-gamer community. I think they have an easier way of trying to attach themselves to them.
I think you're right about name recognition and what people look to the brand for.
Yeah.
It's like, because back in the day, Nintendo wanted to be like an internet service provider, and they wanted to have search engines and all that kind of stuff, but they couldn't get people to buy it because people just thought they were for family entertainment. And so for Google, it might go the other way. It's like,
interesting.
Are people going to recognize your company as being a place to go to play games, or just as a more generic information center?
Yeah.
And that concerns me, because if they're looking at it from who would recognize them from a business model, right, and their brand, they're going to gear their stuff towards that versus actual gamers, right? That's my biggest concern with it. So they're going to be pushing the whole, you can have your house connected, you can, do all this fun stuff.
That's why I was saying, like, it has to be a console first.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree.
My last question then with this hot topic is, do you think other consoles, Nintendo, Microsoft, PlayStation, do you think they have to be concerned with Google? Do you think this is going to be something that they're have on their radar?
Nope.
I think they could be concerned about Google, but for other reasons, not as real competition.
Yeah.
I think the main thing that console manufacturers, or the big three, would have to worry about is potentially, if Google's in the business of acquiring development studios for exclusives, then they've got this big fat paycheck that's just waiting for any studio to come, and they will, put the money down for them to make whatever game they want. If that's the case, then they should probably worry about their studios, especially in a world where Xbox acquired a bunch of them, including one like right underneath from Sony's nose.
Take-Two?
No.
Well, that one
is...
they just
there was a rumor, yes. There's
Yeah.
a rumor that Sony may acquire Take-Two.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Those deals still have to prove fruitful. Otherwise,
Yes.
all those studios will come crawling back to Sony and Microsoft and going, please take us back. We're sorry."
You're right.
I think if Google is hoping to, I think Google should be the ones that are concerned, because not only are they jumping into a market that I think I think a lot of gamers feel we're at capacity with the amount of consoles that are out there, but they are, depending on when they're planning to release this thing, they are not picking a good time to do it. With the rumors of Microsoft announcing their next system at E3, we all know we're at the tail end of the PS4's life cycle, with Sony backing out of E3, maybe they'll do their own thing and announce the PS5 at their own event. If your
That's a
people
good
are gonna,
point.
if the regular gamer, actually even the hardcore gamer, is looking at it and they're like, okay, so I've got a new Xbox, a new PlayStation, and then this Google thing.
Yeah,
Well,
who gets my
yeah.
$600?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. I think if they can come in at pretty cheap, because remember, Microsoft, not only are they coming out with a new system, but if they're coming out with, and they're saying that this new Xbox diskless system, they're calling it like the Xbox, what do they call it? It's like a long name, digital
It's like
only or
Xbox
something?
One S digital. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. And they're saying it's gonna be relatively cheap too. It's gonna be, I suspect that they're gonna try to undercut even Nintendo prices. I think they're gonna come out with this at $150.
That's
Wow.
that's a point for me where I would consider getting it. I wouldn't pay any more than $150.
Yeah, I actually might consider getting one just for my office, because I have I have the original Xbox. I don't have an S or an X. I have the original Xbox in our where I have my other consoles, but I would probably put one in my office just to have one in my office at $150. But if Google can underprice some of that stuff, I think they might be okay. But again,
What? Yeah. No, I agree.
it's going to be. I think you're right. I think Christian, you're right. If they can start swaying some of these developer studios and start buying up some of those developer studios, I think that would be concerning. But I think they also have to prove themselves, and I'm not sure a studio would be willing to work with them exclusively if they can't prove themselves.
Yep.
I'm
Plus-
just really excited for this announcement because I have no idea what the heck this thing's going to be.
I know.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the trailer at all?
Yeah, it was like shots of hallways.
Yeah, it was like a space hangar, aircraft hangar, like a cave, like a fantasy cave.
Yeah.
And like something else, I don't remember. Maybe a sports arena or something like that. But there was like all like you're going down this path in all the different hallways to like this light at the end, and it was like Gamers Unite or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe they're going to be pushing the whole playing together as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
I don't know.
Apparently, we don't like playing with other people, right, guys?
I hate other people.
Yeah. We play video games so we don't have to play with others.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's. I don't know. They're gonna have to do a lot to wow us. Because we're already jaded enough as it is.
Yeah, that's true. The market is much more educated and spoiled than it was even when Microsoft made their entry into the market. So
Yes.
The barriers to entry are much higher now.
Well, and I think Blue, you brought a good point about the exclusives. You know, when Microsoft entered the market, they can come out with this game called Halo, which nobody even heard of, and people are like, "This is awesome," because it was still a pretty young market. I mean, in regards to like what we have now, we're super oversaturated in the market, right? But at the time, it was pretty still young in a way. Now, I mean, you come out with a game and you're like, here's an exclusive, and it's called, I don't know, something, right? And people are like, I don't know what that is. Yeah. I have no idea. And then something else new and shining. That is the thing, we talked about this before, like Apex Legend and Anthem and stuff like that, right? Like all these games coming out. Now Division 2 came out. And this is the trap that I find myself falling into, because I almost picked up Division 2 because a bunch of my friends are playing it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go play it too. But then,
peer pressure.
Yeah, exactly. But then I'm like, you know what? Then 2 months from now, something else is gonna come out, and they're gonna be playing that, and I can't keep up with that. I just can't. Yeah. Amongst my other responsibilities of doing other reviews and stuff like that, I just can't afford to keep up with that lifestyle. And I don't know. It'll be an interesting time for Google to be entering into this market right now.
Yeah, I think if they go ahead, Mike.
I was saying, yep.
Yep.
Yep. Full stop.
I think if Google wants to succeed, they have to do what Microsoft did and be in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
They got to be here. They got to figure out what works and doesn't with their first iteration, and then improve upon it and make it successful the next time around. Because that's what Microsoft did. They came out with this box that was able to push better graphics than their competitors, and they also had Xbox Live, which was way ahead of its time in terms of online play.
That's true. At the time, they were the only one offering that.
That's right.
But the Xbox didn't exactly sell gangbusters, especially in Japan. They still can't sell an Xbox in Japan, for crying out loud.
Yeah,
but
Vita sell more than Xbox.
Yeah.
And that's so funny that because when you think about Japan in relation to the rest of the world, mm-hmm. and yet it's still it's a small part of the world, and yet it's still so important.
Yeah, definitely. I think one thing that Google can do that I just thought of when you mentioned Xbox Live, because right now all those are subscription paid services: Xbox, PlayStation, even Nintendo. If they come up with a free service and convince people to play online, I don't know. That would be interesting.
That's what I'm saying. It will be full of ads. That's how they'll do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You pay for your live subscription with an ad, buddy.
That's right. That's right. So, listeners, what do you think? Do you think Google's console, I guess, will it survive? What will it need to do to survive? And are you interested in this new console that they're coming out with? You can send us a tweet. Christian, how can people tweet us?
At GamerHeads PC on Twitter.
Or they can just send us an email at
info@gamerheadspodcast.com.
Or they can go on our website
at gamerheadspodcast.com.
And then they can also go to Facebook. And what's our Facebook site?
Facebook.com/GamerHeadsPodcast.
Yeah. So, all right.
A well-oiled machine. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what you guys are.
That's me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Let's go around and tell people how they can get a hold of us and reach out to us on the social medias. So, Christian, how can people get a hold of you?
You can reach me on Twitter at Christian Cubser, or else you can read my reviews at GamerHeadsPodcast.com, NewGameNetwork.com, and PushSquare.com.
Nice. And Mike, how can people get a hold of you?
You can find me on Twitter at TCThrowers. You can also find the Controller Throwers podcast right here on GamerHeadsPodcast.com. And you can also check us out at twitch.tv/TCThrowers.
Nice. And Blue, how can people get a hold of you?
You can almost always find me on Twitter. My handle is @WritersView, and it's spelled with a Y, so WRY. And then I also have a website, which is writersview.com.
Nice. And listeners, as we mentioned, you can reach us on Twitter at GamerHeadsPC, or Facebook, or our website at GamerHeadsPodcast.com, or info@GamerHeadsPodcast. The other thing, like Mike mentioned, we do have a Twitch channel as well, and that's twitch.tv/GamerHeadsPodcast as well.
And Roger made a t-shirt.
I did! I made a t-shirt. So I'll post that again. I posted it on Twitter, the link
Post
there.
it on the
but
site.
I'll post it on the site, yeah, so you can look at the t-shirts. I plan to make more of those too, but the t-shirt looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
It is. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to update it though. What you mentioned, Blue, putting our website in the back of the shirt. But I'm gonna get mine on Monday. I'm super excited.
Woo! Better post a picture.
I will. So
Yes.
so you can order shirts with our. It's cool because it says Super Gamer Heads. It looks like our Gamer Head character, like as in a Mario pose, kind of, sort of. But it's supposed to be a retro look to it, and it looks cool. I like it. It looks cool. Mike, thank you for joining us again.
Always a pleasure.
And Christian, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
And Blue, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
And listeners, thank you so much for listening to our show. We really appreciate it. You can continue the conversation at our website or on Twitter. We'd love to continue the conversation with you. And also, if you love the show, please do give us a review on iTunes. You can find the link in our show notes. Even just giving us a star review would be great, but we'd love to hear actually what you have to say about the show. So we will read your reviews on our show. With that, what should be my slogan this week? Stay safe, stay dry. Like, we had so much flooding here, so stay dry, folks, and continue to play games.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yes. Mike.
I was trying to remember how to say it in Gaelic, and I don't remember.
Oh, wow.
I know. I failed.
Wow. Mike, can you say it one more time?
Okay. Happy St. Patty's Day to you.
There we are. So, happy St. Patty's Day. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.
So long.
Bye.